My name's Bea Baker. I live in Tulsa, originally from Waco, Texas, and I do photography and mixed media, some painting, some kind of collage with photos and that sort of thing.
Nice. So we're all in a weird situation right now. Have you found rest in your art, or how are you using your art in this time to process or to distract or anything? If you just want to kind of talk about that.
Yeah. I think it's definitely a weird time because I think there's a lot of pressure on artists during this time to like
Mm.
create and be productive. And especially with social media, when you can kind of put that sentiment out there and not really think about like mental health and a lot of people are just like really trying to get through this time. So yeah, I live with two girls, and one of my roommates is a photographer as well.
Mm.
And she does it full time, and I
Wow.
do it just more of a side hustle type of thing. So that's been super helpful to kind of have someone that's also taking photos and I don't feel someone that I don't feel that pressure from
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, I do a lot of film photography, and we've been taking walks and just taking our cameras with us and just kind of trying to get away from that expectation of like, oh, I have to create, I have to produce something really extraordinary during this time, or I have to
Mm.
document it kind of to this level of just, yeah, that seems a little kind of daunting, I guess. So we've been just taking walks, taking photos. It's helpful that I don't have a dark room at home. So I think I can kind of get away from that, like, judgment within myself of like, okay, is this good enough? It's just
Mm.
I'm taking photos. I'm not gonna know what they look like until after quarantine. So that's kind of cool.
It doesn't it feel like work and home life is flattened so much that you like
Yeah.
trying to figure out how to get from beyond that.
Yeah. So I think one of the biggest struggles with that is just kind of that routine. I have one of my roommates is a teacher, and so they
Mm.
haven't been working up to this point. And she's kind of figuring out the next step. And the one does freelance, she kind of has this transition period where she's taking a fellowship, so didn't really want to do much work, and kind of just
Mm.
rest in this space. So it's been really wonderful, and I'm really lucky that I'm living with people that I like right now.
Yeah, no, it sounds like you've
That I
got a really nice
feel,
community that
yeah,
is helping with
yeah.
that.
So yes, I'm really lucky for that for sure. But yeah, the routine can get pretty hard. Yeah, I mean, wake up, get on the computer, kind of do my day job remotely,
Mm.
and it's kind of a rinse and repeat type of situation. So that's kind of hard to get out of. But yeah, I think there is kind of a beauty in that too. Like as a kid, I would bring a journal around and like draw, or I had little disposable cameras and things
Mm-hmm.
like that. And it's like you can't drive, you're kind of constricted within these bounds, and so I think it's, I don't know, kind of cool to be able to go back to that, and kind of going back to that expectation piece that there's no expectation on me. It's like, yeah, I'm just stuck at home.
Mm.
I'm not taking a road trip, I'm not taking photos anywhere crazy.
Mm-hmm.
So kind of like, what can we make out of this? So
Nice. Well, I was going to ask if you had any of your art on hand to show us, but it sounds like it's all kind of in the film right now.
yeah, I don't have
Pre-developed.
anything from the quarantine time, but
No, that is okay. Do you have it posted anywhere? Are there any like social medias that we could post? If you want to just give us your contact, we'll put it
yeah,
up here.
yeah, it's at Bea Baker Creative on Instagram. And I think it's linked to Facebook, but I don't really use Facebook at all. So yeah, it's mainly there.
Besides the art, how are you kind of like trying to stay positive? I guess throughout this, or if you are, I guess everyone has a right to be angry right now too.
Yeah. Shoot, that's a good question. I think I try to be positive generally,
Mm.
and I think I do have a positive outlook on kind of like what happens, and I'm being as safe as I can. So yeah, I think just reminding myself that I am being as safe as I can. 'Cause sometimes you'll read articles and about, people dying that are young or that sort of thing. Really just being outside for me makes all the difference. Like if I can get outside and go on a walk at least once a day. Online yoga, I feel like everyone does online yoga. It's pretty basic, but it's super accessible.
No, it's great.
I could commit that amount of time. So yeah, that's pretty much just being outside and kind of exercising, and we've been cooking a lot, so that's been really helpful. And I think initially I was pretty against, I don't love FaceTime, I don't love Zoom calls. It's just not really the same for me. So I think in the beginning I kind of had a mentality of I'll just see people and socialize when this time's over, but trying to learn how to embrace those tools, because they are tools, and at this point it's I'm not going to be seeing people for a while. So yeah, I think just trying to embrace that and connect with people in whatever way that I can. But do you do art too, or?
I do. I write poetry, and I've actually just gotten into film. I film photography myself, which has been really fun and also really rewarding.
And my dad's a photographer, so I kind of grew up around it, and he teaches, and they used to have a dark room at where he teaches, and they turned it into a digital kind of computer lab sort of thing, which is such a bummer.
Yeah,
but
it is.
I'm I should have kind of capitalized on that when I had the chance, but
right.
Can't
you live and learn.
Yeah.